Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Trade the Pool live trading room on this Thursday morning, Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So I'm here filling in for Mitch. I'm Tim, TTP Tim on our Discord, and VSync on Twitter and a lot of other places. TTP Tim is my display name, and on Discord I'm VSync 60 Hertz. As the username. Anyway, yeah, Mitch was held up by a little bit of logistical difficulty this morning, plumbing related. I don't know if he wants to go into detail on that, but we'll just leave it at that. And so I'm filling in. So we're going to take a look at the jobs numbers here. Now, bear with me. I was actually taking a little look this morning, seeing if we could got some little hardware when I made that trip to Charlotte. And also looking at is getting this joystick plugged in and going, seeing if we can use it for the scalper. So I'm getting all my normal windows back up, and I'm just going to double check. That the stream is going in the way that I expect it to be going, and that we've got audio. So bear with me a minute there, folks. And go ahead and so, yep, everything's working. We'll leave it at that. Cool. Yeah, and don't mind it being a little dark. I've got the Christmas lights up still, so I just wanted to capture that. We'll get some charts up in a moment and start looking at some tickers. So, with that, welcome to the show. Stay tuned. We're going to have a great morning, and I'm looking forward to it.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money.
It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
All right. So let's take a look here. So first things first, we've got all right, I got to project that screen there. So when I'm streaming, I don't normally use StreamYard, so I'm just playing around a little bit with that, but I'm sure I'm going to make a little video at some point, share that with the world here. But let's get that up on there and see if I can't do that. All right, awesome. So let's see what we got going on here. Little comedy of errors, but you know what? That's what I learned a word today in another language. I already forgot what it's called, but there we go. This is cool. But I learned a word for messy, but it works, so that's kind of fun. Anyway, yeah, so we got the jobless claims, right? That's on Thursday morning. Thursday mornings at 8:30. So that just came in just in time to start our show here. And we've got initial jobless claims down by 1,000 to 219,000. More to come. So we'll look at those numbers, see if they fill it in with any analysis here. Also, we've got, I guess, China revised their GDP upward. So that's interesting. I don't know if there's any games being played with those numbers, or if that's just a situation like ours where that comes in, it's fluid, and they are just doing that. Now, just as a reminder, we did have consumer confidence numbers. This was on the 23rd, so that was Monday going into this week. We don't really have any earnings at all this week. And so we're just dealing with the short, kind of awkward week with the holiday in the middle of the week. And we had a half day and then the regular day. Or we had the half day and then the day off on Wednesday. So that's what we have. Hey, Joe. Awesome. So, let me, if he hasn't already done it, I owe someone a quick thumbnail. So I'm operating in two worlds. So I will say that I was a little bit sad because I was excited because we had our I had a little more hotkeys set up. I was excited to show that off, but that's not quite working here. Just owe somebody a little little thumbnail here, so I'm going to give him that. Although our thumbnail for today had Mitch in another exciting scenario, so we'll have to unfortunately do without Mitch today. But we wish Mitch the best, and I'm sure he'll be back, Monday or very soon. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and we'll take a look at some charts. Go ahead if there's anything you are looking at today, please don't hesitate to throw it in the comments there, and we'll take a look there. Also, normally that's a little smoother and I can just feed it in on the stream. So we're doing it live, as they say. Now, I will say, this morning I've got a little bit of a bearish bias. I saw a couple good things on Twitter, just kind of talking about that, and basically saying that I'll see if I can pull them up, but I'm already juggling a few windows, as you guys can see. So basically the idea is like what's priced in is already so optimistic and aggressive. We just had such a run up that, the question is today and tomorrow, can it really be as positive can it live up to what numbers are already in there, let alone push there? And so we see here, just as a reminder, what I've got on this chart here, I've got NASDAQ futures, Russell futures, crude oil, and gold. So these are on a 12-minute time frame. So we've got, basically since that was Thursday morning here. So we just had this little pop, and then since 3 a.m., right down there, trying to catch up here. So we could push up. This is a super trend indicator. So, we'd want to see it break up past there. Now, one interesting thing, bear with me. I'm still fighting a little bit of a cold. That is no fun. But yeah, one thing we're seeing is that Russell, compared to all the other indices, NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones, all of those, it's really, really heavily lagging those. And so the question, and you can even see that here this morning on this 12-minute chart, where we had this little blip down, it instantly wicked back up on NASDAQ, and there we go. Russell, it blipped down, and just that's where it's sitting. So, yeah, awkward. Let me see if I can see how. I'm just making sure I've got the chat going here. If I can see the live viewer cam. Not right now. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up my newsletter as I often do. Let's see if anyone else is looking at stuff this morning. The feedback that we got from our Trade the Pool Discord community was that so far it's just pretty quiet this morning. I will share from one of our traders, Pare. He is. We have our official Trade the Pool list. We have the playbook and the sunrise report. Of course, comes from Mitch and Gil Esch. Always posts that for us. But Pare is he's always posting some good thoughts. He's got a little basket today, so he's looking at Tesla, Palantir, Nvidia, ARM, and Roku. Interesting to see Roku back into play. Yeah, need like the risk. So thank you for that, Pare, and we'll take a look at those. But yeah, the consensus is just things are looking a little bit quiet today, at least in the pre-market. So we'll see if that pans out. By the way, if any of you would like to, all right, Netflix. I'm just going to dual wield the chats here and pop in here. So here's the S&P. I am holding index puts. We'll close that out. I am holding index puts on the S&P for today and tomorrow. I just climbed right back into that, and we're just going to ride that to Valhalla and see how that goes. In my Trade the Pool account today, I am short on Bitto this morning, and beyond that, we'll just see what comes into play. So, excuse me, I'm going to just do this. So if any of you would like to throw in some tickers in the chat, throw in some questions, some comments, and we'll take a look at those. If anyone would like to come on as a guest, yeah, I know we've got a couple people in the chat. I've already seen them, so you can't run away, who or enjoy the pre-market. So if any of you would like to come on as a guest, let me know, and you're more than welcome to join. That could be a lot of fun. But yeah, we're just going to take today, get back into the market. And I think that's the key thing for a lot of us. I, as probably many of you, got a little bit beat up going into the holiday in the markets. I'm sure that worked out great for some people. Myself, I was under the weather, and then also just, called what I thought the move would be going into the holiday, and just, I actually was up a decent bit, and just didn't take profit. Right. And then it just reversed on me. I was waiting for it to come back around because we had the chop, but it just didn't. And that's one of those cases where, that's just a lesson that you want to make sure you always are actually, taking those profits, especially if you've got something where you've got, multiple trades going, you've got multiple positions, or you can take partials. It's so important to do that because that can mean the difference where you just basically break even on the day versus something where now you end up really, really hurting. So a good lesson for us all. I have the excuse that I've been sick, but at the same time, that's not really an excuse. We're in a profession where it's great. It's up to us to handle things. At the end of the day, if we make money, it doesn't really matter. At the same time, it's up to us to actually handle all those little things. We're on the hook for everything that affects our trading. So we talk a lot about that in our trades, in our Discord. And let me mention real quick some of the things we do this week for our events. So I can mention what we're going to be up to tomorrow. We don't have the live show on Fridays anymore, but tomorrow we will be doing our group trading on the Discord. We will be trading live 2 p.m. For the rest of the afternoon. And of course, you can always just pop in the roundtable anytime you like. Share your screen. If you, we're still working on smoothing our permissions for that a little bit, but if you can't share your screen, just reach out. And usually, if someone's in there trading, you can come in. More people will come in. So, okay, cool. All right. Joe just messaged he's running around. Joe, if you want to come after that happen, after you get that sorted out, let me know. Valerie, again, I know you're a pre-market maven, so if you would like to, you're more than welcome. So one thing that we did now, and here we've got, these are volume candles, and we can start seeing now we've got, let's see, 845 almost. So going into 845 and then towards the market open, we start seeing that selling activity. I was in crypto over the holiday. I was looking at some meme coins. I was also looking at Stellar Lumens, and I did notice there was a lot of selling in crypto. We had a lot of, I was actually going to wear my, I had a t-shirt with a bear on it, but I didn't wear it today. So, the question is, right, if we get below this wick down here, that's one level. And then I believe this is our overnight low. Yep. And then we can back out and we can start seeing where we are now. I think it's so important to look at the futures charts because you don't have the gaps in them, right? You have 1 hour each day. It trades 23.5. So you've got 1 hour from 5 to 6 p.m. Every weekday. And other than that, the chart's pretty much continuous. And that's so helpful to see. And it's also, it is a leading indicator. So you can get a little better sense of what happens there. Let's zoom out a little more. This is one of my favorite tools here. We'll just do this, and then we'll start looking at some specific tickers. But let's see here. This is real interesting because you could look at it from the start. Let's see, Wednesday, December 18th. And my brain is still, I'm not really congested. Hopefully I avoid too much coughing, but I'm still a little fuzzy. So someone will have to remind me what we had on the 18th. What happened now? Let's see what day of the week that was. That was Wednesday. Okay. Oh yeah, we had the FOMC. So, all right. So let's see here. So this is one tool I love, the Fib channel. I pretty much pay for TradingView reluctantly because I like their fib channels, and it's such a useful tool because you can see now, right? These levels, we've got sort of a local uptrend here, right? This is a 1 hour chart, but you look here, right? We came up, and this here we can break out to the upside of the up channel if we hold. So this is 23 fib back down to the downside. So if it holds here, we could expect to see it push back up. Otherwise, we start losing levels. And this is one of those cases where we might see it could just putter along, right? So if it just holds steady, that's actually a losing support, right, on the channel. It's losing the channel. And you can have a situation where as you go through the day, you just putter along and all of a sudden it dumps. And it's like, why? Well, in the channel, even though you were just chopping, you were barcoding, or you were flat, right? Even though you're not moving around on the price scale, within the channel, you're actually losing levels. And just like all those fibs in other cases, if you lose a key level, people start selling. Excuse me. All right. So one thing someone called out. Yeah, thanks for throwing that in there. All right, that's great. So let's take a look at Netflix and see if we got some news today. Christmas NFL. Okay. So Netflix was streaming. There were, I guess, football games on Christmas, which I didn't even. My wife and I were just happy to have each other and be hanging out and just taking a break from the craziness of the year. So, yeah, I guess there was some football on Christmas, and probably people are looking into the numbers. I don't know if those numbers are public. Can anyone share? Are the Netflix numbers available in terms of viewership or anything like that? But let's go in a little bit here. Now, this is interesting. Now, the other thing I like to do is I like to use the Heiken Ashi candles. There's so much going on outside extended hours, or outside regular trading hours, but we'll just go with these for now. So let's take a look here. We can do it sort of the uptrend. So if you use the HA candles and you filter out the wicks, this is real nice for looking there. So now we see, look, that 23 fib back to the upside of this channel again. And here we go, up, 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 up. So we might see it come here, and we might expect it to make it up to, what is that, 942? Depends on the numbers, but the local action this morning, I guess, is less encouraging. So we'll have to see there. All right, yeah, may not trade today. And honestly, that's smart, guys. If there's nothing really presenting itself, there is nothing wrong with that. I am going to go ahead and I use Moomoo's thing for my. Let me switch gears here. See why I'm not connecting to. There we go. All right, so I'll do that while I wait for those to come up so it looks smooth. So here we go. This Bitcoin short is already actually playing out a little bit. So you can see this is a limited edition mini. I'm still reacquainting myself with the sizing a little bit, so this is not in great shape. It's mostly this week. But we see here what we've got here. So let me now pull up these. These are just my sort of little baskets. I'm familiar with them, so I sort of know their culture. Rumble, very interesting. Speaking of crypto, we look at Rumble, and let's see what's up on the upper right. Okay, I'll see if I can toss myself up in there. Yeah. So GameStop making some interesting moves this morning. AMC trying to not as much there, right? So that's a similar thing we see. I'm gonna actually just go back over here. There we go. That's a similar thing that we see on that we were looking at earlier with Russell versus the NASDAQ, where it blipped down and tried to reclaim up, right? So here we've got this wick up, or this push up, comes down, finds support, starts climbing up. I don't know. We've got a gap to the downside. It's hovering around that support line, so we'll see how that goes. Here we got a pop, but it just wicked up, came back down. It's trying to make the same move, but it's just not. There's no enthusiasm there on AMC. So that's interesting. All right. So going back down here. So Rumble got that investment from Tether. And it's interesting because, and I have to read into it. I'm a big Rumble fan. I've had the Rumble stock. We were talking about it on the show, but yeah, they got an investment from a stablecoin provider, right? So why are they investing? Is that to just to be able to ensure they have a voice as there's calls for regulation or things like that? Is it just a good business play? Like, how are they getting that financing? That's very interesting. Because it just seems, I don't know if they've made any other investments, but we got a pop on the news and then a little pop yesterday, and then that kind of fizzled and then just sat around going into the holiday. So now we see, does it have legs? Does it keep going, or do we drop? Man, I can tell my voice is just real nasally this morning, so I apologize. Let me make sure I can get my you know what? I'm going to just wait until we get our 9 o'clock newsletter. I got the Biofarm Catalyst newsletter. We will see if that has anything of note in there. Just because of the holiday and the news that went out earlier in the week, I normally will pull it in the night before, but I'll hold off there. I am interested in Roku. I haven't looked at Roku in ages, so let's see what's up there. Huh. Okay. Crazy. Roku is one of those. I think that in markets, you find certain things. They're just sort of tug of war stocks, right? Everyone just agrees to play tug of war. I don't know how. I know Roku was all over the map with the pandemic times and everything. So I don't know if it was just something everybody agreed to speculate on. That's very interesting. You look into the long side, Pare, or for it to reject off of here. That's interesting. I am looking at ARM. I was bullish on ARM. Which one is ARM? There we go. And then they were just kind of rejecting. I'm just, oh, excuse me. Man. All right. Orange flavor. So the question here is, did it actually find? I mean, we've got that kind of undercut thing. Question is this a channel or is this a falling wedge? So let's see. And again, I tend to, when I'm doing this, I tend to just sort of filter out the wicks there, and that gives me an idea. I suspect now we did get a little potential wick down, a break to the downside, which then got kind of aborted, and now it's back up again. But I expect to see more of a. I expect it to actually fill out the rest of this falling wedge, and then maybe have a false breakout, if anything. But we'll see. Again, I'm bearish on the market in general, so. But you see how this could also be drawn as sort of a falling channel. It's not perfect, but that's interesting. Hey, Rev G, good morning. What are you looking at today? Just looking at ARM and NVIDIA. Yeah, the semi. I noticed also too. ARM was in a weird state relative to the other one, so that's the other thing that's worth looking at here. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll look at some scanners here. Let's check in on that Bitcoin trade via Bitto. So reminder on Trade the Pool, you are always trading via. You're basically trading different exchange traded products that you can find on NASDAQ market. And so you're not going to be trading Bitcoin directly, but you can trade any one of the dozen Bitcoin ETFs there or MicroStrategy. All right. Put this down. Tesla. Okay, here we go. We got some similarities. So Tesla, Hood. Oh, you know what? Let me show this on the screen actually. So I'm going to show. So this was parsing Tesla, Palantir, ARM, Roku, NVIDIA, just to recap. And now RevG, Tesla, Hood, Avgo, WM. What is that? Waste Management, I think, right? And Palantir. Yeah, I call which trading view can connect to TTP. Yeah, I mean, I know it's being looked into, but again, it does require some extra stuff on the server side to facilitate that. So we'll have to see what happens. I don't care for TradingView personally, especially the trading capabilities in TradingView. It's pretty limited in terms of like trailing stops, brackets, just and under load, it doesn't behave well. But I do like those fib channels. So, you know, and again, it's whatever works for you. You can always use Trade the Pool for the executions chart elsewhere, but I know it is helpful being able to drag your levels on a chart and have it be your normal charting. So we might have a little catch on Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and see what's up with the broader markets here. Yeah, we caught within it. I still see the downtrend. I still see that, but I think when we open up, we're going to start seeing some interesting things. But obviously, there's some volume missing from the market, so that's kind of a tricky thing. Okay, yeah. So Walmart and cool. Yeah, retailers were interesting. Walmart very interesting this morning. That's another one where oops, I didn't have that on the right screen, but yeah. If I look back, Target had a pop, Walmart, and now that I'm looking at it, I can see there's a sort of a very similar move. Dollar Tree really pushed. Let's zoom out a little more. And again, apologies. I'm still getting over this horrible respiratory thing, so I'm really kind of sniffly still. Dollar Tree had this huge pop right here. That was great. So congrats to anyone who is in Dollar Tree there. But Walmart in particular has been strong, and they don't seem like it seems like they've still got a lot more room to go up. I could see doing a pair trade, Walmart up, Target down. I did have a target put for today. I closed it though, just because of theta, as we know, and that's one that's not worth trading on Trade the Pool outside regular trading hours. Oh my goodness, it's cutting off the top of my head. Let me just put myself over here. All right. That's better. Looking at these. All right. So what do you see? So Rev G, you want to describe, or you see anything particular on any of those charts, or anything you're looking for in particular? Let's look at Avgo. They had did Broadcom have earnings? I know that they had something going on. And you guys are gonna have to help me catch up because I'm still yeah. We had earnings on the 12th, so it's been a week, 2 weeks. So to recap, yeah, earnings surprised the upside. Revenue was down quite a decent bit though, so they managed to make things kind of lean, but so yeah, this is one where I like putting. They're gonna keep spamming me too. That's the other thing. Good, good. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting day. I think the sentiment is still bullish, but my feeling is things are heavy. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So we're just at 9 o'clock. So now what I can do, and I'll share this with you guys. So I'm gonna get my newsletter. We'll kind of go through our morning routine. Everybody has their own morning routine. Mine is usually to go through this newsletter and see what is looking interesting there. So let's see. Sometimes they take a little bit to bring it out right at 9. And if that's the case, what I'm going to do is just look. I will look at the last daily one that happened at the end of the day and start setting up my watch list that way, and you can kind of see what's going on. I'm also going to bring up my squawk in the background. Unfortunately, I can't stream that but I do have a Benzinga feed, and so that's one thing I can take advantage of. So you do always want to be alert to what's going on in the world. You never know. I know some people say that again, this is an ongoing debate, right? An ongoing argument. Does it matter? Does macro matter for small caps? Does news matter? I mean, obviously you get a news pot, but does macro or sympathy or sector news, right? Like, do those affect the penny stocks? And I know a lot of people think not. Me, I think you're always going to be better served being plugged in on what is going on in the world. But it's me. Today, again, it's a pretty quiet day. Let me make sure I've got my feed. It's crazy. I even took Sudafed this morning, and this is my decongested version. So whatever's going around, that respiratory bug, the mycobacterium, the pneumonia thing, it's just no fun. All right. So I'm going to look at Monday's newsletter here, and I'm just going to start putting this in a little bit. I'll share this with you. Oh, the Napa acquisition finally went through, I guess. Crazy that it doesn't let me chart it historically. I wonder if I can pull it up with the QSIP, or just is TradingView not going to allow me to see the history of it? That's kind of crazy. Out of curiosity, let's actually check another one. Let's check SunW, which nowadays there's SunWQ, so I can't. If it was just SunW, I could look at the entire history of it, and I could see Sun Microsystems. Let's actually see. Let's take a little gander at that, and put 12 month candles. Okay, yeah. So I wonder if I used SunW, if that would pull up, Sun Microsystems and then this other thing in the history. But looks like Sunworks went bankrupt or something. Very sad. I used to work at Sun Microsystems directly, and then as a contractor through Oracle. So it's kind of funny knowing that the ticker came back to life. Of course, I didn't really care at all about stocks then, and I really encourage people, if there's any younger people watching this stream, maybe stumbled across it, I would really encourage you to take the time and get familiar with the markets. I think that the markets are just a great opportunity for people. If I had, I went through some rough times in a couple of recent years, and if I had when I had pretty nice position before, nice salary, if I had leveraged that, if I had that in the markets, using the skills that I have built now, man, it would have been just a completely different situation. So if you're young, if you're just taking a moment to get familiar, it's worthwhile, and you can try something out like trade the pool. If you're 18, you can do that, and or age of majority in your country, but you can sign up, you can do the free trial regardless, and then you can do an eval, and see if you get funded that way, or you can just, take the time to learn. But I think at least knowing what's going on, getting that habit, being able to know where to go when there's news or when you know something, and you want to see how it plays out in the market, is just so valuable. And it changes your views on money too. When you start thinking of money as capital rather than like what you can buy with it, man, it changes everything. Of course, with Trade the Pool, it's nice because you do not have to spend that working capital that you have. You can trade that. You can keep growing even when you scale, even when you can scale even once you've withdrawn. So that is a great feature of Trade the Pool. I never really am a big fan of music in the background of these streams. But I am going to put that on. It just feels a little too quiet, and especially yeah. Trading background music. All right. Learn a little more about StreamYard every day. So yeah, I really encourage everybody to get familiar with the markets, because you never know when that knowledge is going to serve you, and matters less if you have something like Trade the Pool, where you don't need to pull on the capital. But it just changed my view on things, where nothing else really got me to dial in my spending habits, but knowing, hey, I could grow this money. Every dollar that I spend frivolously is a dollar I don't have for something else. A dollar to invest and grow into more dollars that I can buy things with. So, all right. Anyway, so this is my morning routine a little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear out these old things here. Got a couple different little categories for things for Biofarm Catalyst. Again, that's just my personal newsletter that I like. There are many out there. If you focus on a sector, I think it's also worthwhile. I've talked about this before. Getting familiar with a sector or sectors. Something that you have. Maybe you're a little further along in your career. If you are familiar with stocks you work with, you're familiar with the news and the import of different things. That gives you the opportunity then to apply that knowledge in the markets, and just, if nothing else, to observe and see how news that comes out affects stocks in general, and affects those companies that news that you understand affecting the companies that and seeing what happens in the market and getting a feel for those kind of reactions, counter reactions, right? So that's good. So what I'm going to do, I like to do this. I go add symbol, and I'm just going to go through. They send me what the big advancers and decliners were. So these are from the previous day. Hopefully by the time I get these put in, then we got some pipeline updates too. So let me see if there's something. Doesn't look like there's any PDUFA scheduled for like this week, presumably, right? Like, come on. Nothing very recently. So what I'm going to do is put in the advancers, decliners. These are from yesterday. And then hopefully today's newsletter will have arrived, put in the advancers, decliners from today, and then I'll put in those tickers with actual specific catalysts. I'll break those out into a different section. And then this is cool. Oh, check cap. Why are they way up? That's really interesting. This was, again, the other day, but let's see. It might be just flopping around. Let's see that. Let's actually take a second. So it's just 9:10 right now. So we can look here at check cap. Let me refresh my memory on those. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's an Israeli company. It's a medical capsule that you can swallow and it'll image your gut. Pretty amazing idea. It's kind of cool. That's been a while since I've seen that ticker. And wow, what happened here? They were just puttering along, and all of a sudden, it's off to the races with them. What is there? Is there news? What happened here? Let's see. It's weird. River UK microcap. Why is it? Okay. Merger deal with fintech firm Noble. Huh. March 20. So they did a interesting. I didn't know anything about that. Why are they popping? What's going on in there? So now I'm going to drill in here a little bit. I really should put the whole thing, but the whole list, and then I could start drilling into things. But just I haven't seen the name CheckCap in a while, and that's quite a move. So I'm curious what's going on there. Sorry, bear with me. I am still spacing out a little bit here, so all right. I'm gonna just bring this up here so you can see this. I hope they don't mind me sharing it, but this is, one of the things you can get when you sign up for these premium information brokers, you call them. So this is for biopharm, as the name would imply, but there's so many different things for so many different sectors. And anyways, here we go. Boop. Just got the little pop up. Just crazy. Is there nothing else on this page? It's really weird. All right. All right, well, we'll come back to that. Let me go ahead and pull up the advancers decliners, and we'll carry on where we were here. I'll just go to this section. So if you use the sections in the watch list, it facilitates this kind of workflow. It's just my personal workflow, but could be good. SLGL. TRAW. Just gonna. All right, wrapped. And see again, so if I have it in my watch list from previously, it'll show up already. So to add it here, I click it to remove it, and I click again. So I just do like kind of a slightly slower double click. That can let me, and that tells me that it's something I've seen before too. So I can kind of jog my memory on that. GTBP, okay. PPCV, Propank Biopharma. There's a few new names on here too, so I look forward to learning what those companies are about. Just gonna make sure I'm logged in on my. You can ignore that. PDUF. Okay, here NBIX. They've got a PDUFA date of. Oh, interesting. Okay, PDUFA date of December 30th. Which is crazy. I wonder if that's actually the date expected, but I just saw this in a little banner on Biofarm Catalyst. Treatment of neurological, endocrine, and psychiatric-based diseases. They have some tardive dyskinesia, an adjunct treatment for Parkinson's, endometriosis, heavy menstrual bleeding, uterine fibroids. Okay, so an interesting mix of things they're targeting. And let's see what the PDUFA is. So this is crinecerfont, and that's for classic congenital adrenal hyperplasia. I feel like I should know what hyperplasia means. I'm not going to look it up this second, but interesting. Okay. So that could be something interesting. So depending on what level you subscribe to, but let's see. Got some other treatments for the same thing. FDA approval. Okay, so 12/13. So that may have already been approved. It's shown as having a PDUFA date, but then they got actually approved. So that's interesting. This is a little less thing. But anyway, there's all kinds of good stuff in these kind of services, and you can make use of them. Back to my watch list building. Sorry for the digressions, folks. Let me check and see. Hey, got a few more folks in here. Let's see. Yeah, SMCI. Let's take a look at that in a minute. Let's see what they're up to. Are they still suspected fraudsters, or what's going on with SMCI? Like, that's a crazy, what a crazy journey that company, that stock has had, right? Like, Camp 4, SSII. It's obscure, nice obscure name. Trades only OTC, so we won't be touching that, but that's kind of funny. Until I just want US stocks. There we go. BRSHF, TNXP. That name keeps coming up. Surgalign. That one's bankrupt too. It keeps coming up because it's like barely worth anything. It's like 0.000001. So if it goes to 2, then it's like 100% gain. It's crazy. EDGM. RMB. X Biotech Inc. CDT Conduit Pharmaceuticals. Science Biomedical. Fress. Interesting. That one. Let's see if I search it. Oh, Fresh Pet? I think that's the pet food brand where you can get at the store. I didn't know that they were publicly traded. That's cool. Weird. That ticker is just not showing up that they mentioned. Let's see. Molecular templates. That's cool. Sounds cool anyway. All right. Here we've got. So this is the list of things that have the advancers, decliners, like in this sector specifically. Obviously, I could use whatever scanner and filter by sector, but I like doing this, and it gives me a nice time to do it when that newsletter comes in. So let's switch over. Let's take a quick look at the markets here, see what's happened in the last few minutes. We are just about 10 minutes from the open. 4-minute candle. I never use 4-minute candles. Okay, yeah. Again, we're seeing some continued weakness in NASDAQ. We had this wick. But what we can see is we have MFI and RSI moving actually together toward the upside, building a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. Here we had that double top confirmed by MFI. Came down. And we do see on here and here, there's a little bit of an inverted head and shoulders. So see what happens there. On the Russell, this looks like, I know I've said this a number of times lately, that looks to me like it's forming a bear Gartley on this, right? So it might pop up to like what, 2269, right? And then reject downwards. So that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen here. Gold, interesting moves. All right, so let me see if they have sent out this morning's newsletter. And we'll see what has changed, if anything. It's not in yet. That's irritating. All right, well, let's go ahead and take a look at SMCI while we wait. Oh, and meanwhile, the other outlook thing, crypto here, right? Again, we pop above the super trend line, right? Looks to me like it's rejecting back down. We'll see what happens. Actually, just gonna check on something here. Just keep an eye on that. The little thing I'm monitoring there on one of my many screens down here. Now, why? This is not. Let me check something here because I could actually stand this this hotkey script that I made to work. There we go, good. I just switched to a different layer on that little keypad. So if you can get the keypads, by the way, it makes so much of a world of difference. Number one, if you've got like a 10 key list, if you get a number pad, I actually like to put it on the left, use the mouse on the right, something to consider. But also if you can get some ancillary keypads, that's kind of fun. So I was programming this over the holiday. This is the FIO KB3 or KB1K, excuse me. And I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just think it's kind of a cool little thing. So 3 keys, you can map them to anything. It's got different layers and it's got a dial. So you can map those. So I've actually mapped that so I can pop up Discord different channels here. Cool. Pulling up another chat, seeing what people are saying. Some memes. Yeah. Robinhood app had snowflakes. So, Is that a top signal? Can we snark on that? All right, 23 minutes. We're getting close. Let me check this. Index options will freeze for 5 minutes momentarily. So, yeah, I don't know. To me, everything doesn't look strong. I'll just say that. Doesn't look strong. All right, SMCI. Let's check that out. That'll be fun. Is there any new? Why adding it to your list, Pari? Just from the chart or any news? Yeah. Now we're getting into a very interesting time right now, right? Because we are getting even more up to the end of the year. So that tax harvesting will come into play. That is potentially a big factor here. Let's see. It's like hot garbage to me. Man, how the mighty have fallen, huh? I think it gives up this level. I don't know. That's just me. doesn't look strong, we'll say. My search results. In my newsletter. Maybe there should be a pre-market newsletter today. I don't know why there wouldn't be. Sometimes they just lag on sending it, and it's really annoying. So I could pull it up, but plenty of other things to do. All right. Every day is a Christmas day. That it is. So let's keep an eye on TSM here, right? I think this had the clearest. Now this is interesting. We've got this. I guess you would look at it from the point of view coming into it. So that's concave, right? This one's more convex. It's pop up and then kind of curl. ARM's just kind of doing its own weird thing. I mean, ARM has, to me, I see, this is a nice opportunity from my standpoint. But yeah, how do you guys pick watchlist stock? I use Stock Screener with TradingView. So, like I said, for me, I just have these. These are things that I've traded over time. I need to optimize this more, so I have the first page being all the things I personally like and like to trade and everything, and then the second thing can be similar things. So, yeah, this is just kind of my basket, and then that watch list for me personally. I'm going through that newsletter. It's a sector-based newsletter specifically that I'm interested in. There are other ways to do it. So if anyone wants to comment on that, that's one way. But yeah, you can absolutely just use the screener. Michael's done a thing where he showed CEO of Trade the Pool was on one of these streams. He showed doing it with FinViz, I believe, and yeah, so you can just search for. You can filter by market cap. You can look at the pre-market volume, so you're following the market rule, following the volume rule, and other things. You can also go, for example, here. If I go, I always forget which tab it's under, but I believe it's Explore. So we've got a heat map, and here we've got advancers, decliners. Pre-market 9 meters biopharma 0.0000. It's 9,900 up. Okay, what is this? What is SciSpark? Yeah, what is this story? Some EV thing. Okay. I can go here, analysis. Wait. Clinical stage pharmaceutical company. Myocardial infarctions. Cannabinoid pharmaceuticals. Okay. All right. So what's the news? Merger target, Automax Motors. This is crazy. Are there two? Let me pull this up on the Biofarm Catalyst, actually. It's very strange. Cars. Is this like one of those weird reverse mergers and the other company had, did something with cars? Therapeutics that mitigate adverse symptoms associated with CNS disorders. Okay. Let me try to. They got a press release here. SciSpark's expansion into the automotive sector. So this is a drug company that's going to have cars. This is insane. What is this? I need to find out what on earth. Like, why would... Is anyone into this? Does anyone know what a crazy company. I don't want to do it. I might do a deep dive later. Might do that on our Discord later. We'll look at this SciSpark and find out why it's cars and also medicines. That's nuts. That's nuts. I mean, here's their whole pipeline and everything. They have all kinds of drugs. They're working with a car company for financing. I guess this is one of those weird things. It could be like with Twitter, with Tether, and with Tether and Rumble, right? Like, what is the synergy there? Why would you have that? Anyway, all right, we got the market open now. So let's go ahead and see what we have cooking here. Let's go ahead and take a look. Boom. Okay, and now we see, look at this pop on NASDAQ. Boom. Big sell on the Russell. That's interesting. Oil. Trying to form, I guess, like a little double top situation here. Man, look at the selling in small caps. That's hurtful. That's hurtful. But yeah, nothing like calling that momentum here. Now here we've got I think VWAP, and we've got NASDAQ coming up and just testing it from the underside. But what's going on? So what methodology do you use, RevG, when you're looking for your watch list? You mentioned you use the scanner in TradingView, but what do you look for? What interests you on there? What causes you to add something to your watch list or not add to your watch list? All right, same thing. How do things end up on your watch list? Let us know in the comments or in the live chat. That's crazy. What a crazy world. Good performance. Okay. Simple, yeah. I like to buy good companies and sell bad companies. Hey, there are worse ways to do it. All right, folks, inopportune timing, but excuse me just a moment. I just have to run to the other room real quick. I will be right back. And let's see if I can put something. I wonder if there's some video I could play. If there's any interesting thing in the news. I don't want us to get copyright struck, so I don't know anything that I could put that would be really fair use or anything arguable here. So all right. Oops. I don't seem to be able to. I wonder how I can I just hide myself off the screen? That's difficult. All right. Anyway, folks, I'll be right back. So bear with me just a moment. All right, and here we go. We are back. So I will say this is one of those things where I think it'd be cool if we had, I guess, little video clips, like some of the tips and tricks that we could use as assets in here. I'm sure we could, but I'll see it like right there, ready to go. And yeah, I guess I missed my opportunity to do that little ding, ding, ding. Cool. All right, hey, thanks for putting up with me here, folks. I'm just love being on here. I'm just still, whatever that respiratory thing is that's going around, man. I have to go to the doctor or something. It's no fun. So I apologize. I know I'm still super congested here and rambling a little bit. So we'll see how the market goes today, and we'll decide whether we'll go for the full length of it, or we might go ahead and wrap up early, like 10:30 or something. But we'll just see. Might get into something. All right. Looks like. Let's see where we look out of the gate. I'm just again going to use just my little overview view here, and I'll see if I can figure out why. There we go. You're not display. All right, what do we have? Okay. Target, little pop out of the gate. Yeah, crypto selling. So I got a little thing going on in meme coins. I'm not going to talk about which one or anything, but I will say that's bleeding out a little bit. Yeah, Stellar, some weakness. Bitcoin, which is the one trade I have on here through Trade the Pool, is also a little weakness there. So we'll see what happens. Man, Rumble. Man. So now the question. Now I got beat up on. I like Rumble, but I actually tried shorting that pop because I thought there might be some worry on it. But like, good grief, folks. I think I need the calculator here. What is this? 12.33 times 0.08. 0.98. Yeah, so that's close. It's not actually hitting the 8% rule. Sorry about that. But because I am in the mini limited edition, remember, we are running that experiment right now. The 8% rule does not apply in the limited edition mini size for the moment. We're just doing some data gathering, seeing what can be done as far as that risk management rule. And that's that. So we could go ahead and get in on this. We could try to chase it. I'm a little nervous doing that. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and let's see what we have here. I think we could here get all right, so here's one of those things. Here's some of the indicators that I'll look at. And I'm looking at Rumble right here. So look at this. We've got decreasing volume as we're popping and going up. Now it is interesting. One of the things in our book club, we have our book club Tuesday evenings in the Discord, or basically right after the market closes, 15 minutes later. When the market closes, we have a little 15-minute listening session. Alternate weeks, we just hear thoughts and things people are running into on the rules or on the software platform, the trading experience. And after that 4:15 each week, we will do a book club. So right now we're going through Market Wizards, discussing each chapter. Each chapter of that book is an interview with a different trader. That is a great book. I really recommend it. And, if you want to join us, you could as well. Now, yeah, upper respiratory bug has been nasty. Man, this is just a doozy. It might be coming up on a month for me because I was dragging before I even knew I was sick. I'm just hearing the squawk in my head. I'm not too good lately at keeping up with the squawk, so that's there. MGIH halt to the upside in small caps, has the money flow. Okay. Now remember, on there. What on earth is this? Is this that real estate company in Brazil or whatever that got added to the process industry, containers and packaging? Cool. Is there any kind of catalyst at all? Hey Joe, do you want to come on the stream? Let me know. This could be your big breakout moment. Feel free to let me know yes or no in the live chat if you want to come on the live. It could be a lot of fun. You can tell me what you're seeing in this MGIH. ARM. Okay, so let's see what's going on with ARM. I actually have ARM in a little 4-pack here. I did. That's his own chart. Okay, here's that strength in ARM, right? Here's that strength in ARM. So one of the things, going back to the book club, one of the things that one of the traders, I forget which, was talking about was you typically talk about consolidating and volume. So you see the volume up when it's pushing on the top. And he was saying you don't actually want to look for that. You want to see a little bit of a fall off at the height of that consolidation. And that'll tell you that there's not really as much selling going on, people trying to sell the highs. Future Billionaire, good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you today? Cool. So here's another, but look, you see the volume kind of lowering. Let's look at this Renko chart. Renko is good because you can step away from time thing. This is something I would be cautiously bullish on, but I'm also biased. I like ARM. I like ARM. Yeah, Future Billionaire. I mean, you can probably hear I'm a little stuffed up, but I'm good. Had a great Christmas. I hope everyone enjoyed the day. We did a little bit on the Discord. We were just hanging out, doing a little holiday activity. And other than that, just hanging out. Yeah. So, see, this BITO is now. Got my Christmas lights in the background. That's why it's a little darker there, because I like I want to show those off. Okay, I'm hearing a resumption on MGIH from the squawk, so that's good. Let's see if we've got anything new on our news. Oh, here's an article, yeah. So. Seasonally adjusted initial jobless claims decreased by 1,000. 4-week moving average rose by 1,000 from the previous week's unrevised average. Okay. Did they end up revising last week's numbers yet? Has that come out yet or no? The unemployment rate, so it just ticked up by 0.1%. Advanced number. Yeah, so jobs still just see the insured unemployment rate increased, but the initial jobless claims decreased. So, there are still, it's like inflation. It's important to keep this in mind, right? There's still new jobless claims happening, right? People losing jobs, right? And of course, this is something you expect to happen all the time, right? People are just losing jobs. They apply for unemployment. They either find new jobs or don't, whatever. But when you look at the trends, that's where you find something interesting. Now, the unemployment rate, though, so this would be existing jobless claims, ongoing jobless claims, that's still piling up, right? So maybe the rate of new firings is lowering a little bit, but, only 1,000. It's not a very big difference there. Yeah, here's that rejection on GameStop. So I would consider it likely that we'll fill that gap to the downside. Of course, I just noticed it, so that's the moment. That's the time to see that. But let's see. Oof. That was a little oversized for... I didn't realize the size of this move here. So now there's the question of, do I stay humble and just close it out right away? Or do I wait? The nice thing, again, on the limited edition, I can only... I only need to wait 30 seconds to start trimming the position and have profit still be valid. So... All right, and now we're seeing some continuation down there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to double check, first of all, the time, 9:45, 34. Okay, so I've already even got that full minute. So let's see what happens if I go. There's one. And what if I go out to a 1 hour chart, and I'll have the next one grab down here. Let's see if that actually gains me anything. So if I go here, there's 30. Yeah, that's worthwhile grabbing it here instead of up here. Sometimes those commissions can just eat you up, so you want to watch out for that. All right, let's look back at ARM. A little rejection there too, so I think now's where we start to see that. Yeah, I got the trade going on. So here we go. We're making up a little bit of the losses there. We lucked out. This is probably a large position for this side account. +1R from ARM. Yeah, nicely done. Nicely done. Yeah, it's going to be a weird day. I think we're going to see a lot of chopping around. I have one thing I'm just writing till the end of the day or the end of the week. Other than that intraday, I'm just going to try to stay real nimble. All right, we might have a tweezer top here in Rumble. It depends if this pushes back down or if this pops back up. We could start actually straight up squeezing to the upside on Rumble, and that would sure be interesting. Disney closed the gap to the upside and then some. Enovix, so they're kind of a small cap thing. That's interesting. TSM also down. Rumble holding a little bit. All right, so I was bearish on Target. I'm going to now see what happens here. I wouldn't want to be short Target right now without being a long, say, Dollar Tree. Walmart could give us some of those gains. This one, yeah, this is my standard thing. The actual watch list for today. Which screen? 200? No. I have a side screen over there for that. Then. All right. Let's see if that newsletter came out. So otherwise, I'm going to be kind of lazy and maybe they don't have a pre-market one this morning. Maybe there's something else going on. That's really weird. Well, I can always open it up in the browser. Let's see if they have a post. They post the newsletters for the day as well, too, so I can just look at that. Oh, observance of Christmas and the New Year will not be sending out the pre-market newsletter from December 24th to January 1st. Oh, wow. So they're just not putting any news right now. Huh, okay. What I might do actually is kind of pile into... Oh, shoot. I accidentally had GME. I just took the whole... I set that with the size of the 150. So I just scalped it to the downside. And, today that might not be the worst. That might not be the worst thing. So I actually put this with 150. I didn't set it to the small size when I thought I did. So I just boop. Yeah, I mean, at least it moved enough ticks, and that's cool. And we see it actually trying to push back up, so I might be thankful of that. Make sure I don't have any other orders open. Great. May take ARM again. Yeah, so here we go. I'm gonna kind of pyramid myself into a target short. Just love using these levels as a little guide there. So not going to risk too much there. Wed-Thu short coming into play again. Let's see what's up there. What about Rumble here? What is Rumble doing today? Let's see. Let's see how this is actually playing out. Yeah, this looks like some strength maybe. Got volume coming up here. And here we actually see the volume coming up. This is what Mitch was talking about the other day, right? You have volume coming in, anticipating the move. So that's interesting. I have this divergence in RSI and MFI. I don't like that. I don't like when they start going in opposite directions. It's kind of one of my little tricks personally. Yeah, we had target and arm. Yeah, I would. All right, so Wed-Thu, yeah, now that's actually straight up rejecting more thoroughly. So we're now zoomed in. This is what I drew before. Market's red, so no longs. Okay, so did you initially scalp it to the upside, or you sold ARM and got a nice thing? Yeah. I mean, again, like I said, I am bearish for that. Oh, here we go. Now we got something. Now we got something cooking. Let me see how that index put's doing. A little XSP. There we go. Yeah, that's green again. That puts green. See what happens. That one's cash settled, so I might just ride it into the close. All right, folks. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, if we've got something new, if anything new grabs your attention. This is where I beat up a lot of my account, was trying to short this Rumble push. I think Rumble's going to just squeeze. And honestly, I think I'm going to be along for the ride. So let's see here. What if I go a little larger on this one? And this is where, oops, shoot, it filled quicker than I expected. Yeah, this is like a big, yeah. So I'll just put that. This is where the move is larger than I'm used to seeing for Rumble, so I got to leave that alone. And man, the one time I didn't have Rumble calls in my personal account, driving me nuts. Oh well. Nvidia 138 break maybe in retest. Yeah, Dollar Tree might not be holding. I mean, I expect maybe nothing will hold against, but we had this before on previous days this week. We had what looked like an initial sell-off. One we even like sold way down and then just grabbed it and ripped. So we could really have anything happen towards the end of the day today and after the close tomorrow. Something to be aware of. I may end up just accidentally giving back all my profits if this Rumble if Rumble doesn't actually catch right here. That would be annoying, but I would deserve it for being so. Let's look at the old Mag 7 here. Taking a minute to load. Man, look at Meta. Wow, what a pronounced move there. Here you guys. Oh, might have to run and get more coffee here. But. Now I have seen this happens, right? You'll have semis; they'll sell off right until 10 maybe, for example. I mean, this could be a false catch. That'd be something to break hearts. But what would really be funny is pop back up almost to the top, then sell again. That's the kind of thing where people just blow up accounts left and right because you see it like almost getting to the previous high. You're like, oh, it's going to break out to the top. You go and you buy some, and then immediately it starts back down. And then, you have to sort of anticipate whatever you think is going to happen. You have to sort of pick something and commit to it a little bit ahead of time, or there's enough chop that you can actually enter on a pullback in these situations as well. All right. All right, cool. I'm now basically break even for the day. It's kind of funny. And just bear with me a second. I'm gonna grab something. There we go. Yeah, you can see my whole Christmas display here. Oh, I was gonna put my red and green lights and have them on the dealing effect. No such luck there. All right. I still think Rumble's along here. I do think that. Go a little smaller, though. A little smaller. I'm just having to keep things tighter than I would ordinarily because of this. Because of my previous misadventures, So we'll see what I can do. Too choppy. Engulfing candles to both sides. Have to be patient. Yeah. And you see that too. You see those broadening formations, right? That's another thing that really, like here, you see it a little bit on AMD, right? See it breaking up a little bit, then boom, reject down here. It looks like it's losing the lower trend line. Comes back up into this channel. Excuse me. And comes up, then comes back down, tests the upside. Looks like it's going back down. So yeah, definitely in this kind of chop, you can be patient about when and how you enter. You're going to be a lot better off. He tells himself. I wonder about Disney here. It is now above the top. That doesn't look great to me. All red, lol. Yeah. Let's do a heat map. Let's pull up a heat map of the markets here. Let's see what we got. I think Explore is what I want again. All right. Consumer electronics. Still green. Auto manufacturing, oil and gas. Interesting to come back and see our sectors game. We play a little game in the Discord every week. We will go ahead and pick the sectors that we think will be best and worst performing. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see where the week ends up. That's for sure. All right. Now let's look for standouts, right? So we flip from sector to individual stocks, and we see here. Oh, we can also look and see what had a lot of turnover in the pre-market. But let's go to. Okay. Yeah, Berkshire is good. All right. Adobe is green. Everything else is red. Apple's green. Sony's green. What's LPL? Oh, LPL is LG Display. Okay. That's interesting. Like the LG? Like the TVs and monitors? That's cool. Concerned about tariffs. Okay. Makes sense that they would be, right? Like, I'm just not going to take any chances here with this. So, what's that? The price $15.49. So, okay, yeah, that's easily within that 10-cent rule. I mean, if my later sells are good, then it's fine too because it's an average. But thoughts on Oklo? I like Oklo. Oklo is, and let me make sure I'm not an idiot by saying which one. Yeah, Oklo is so I was into them. I think I still have calls on them. I traded them to the long side before and trade the pool, made a nice bit of money in that day because I'm not doing the swing thing. And again, I think I do have a call on that. I might have trimmed it, but let me see. So they've got was it Jared Kushner's brother, right? Is co-founder, something like that, on the board. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I don't have a call on it. Speaking of Trump-related things, let's look at Public Square. Here's PQH, and we'll see how they're doing on the 1 hour chart. Okay. So it did reject this. If I zoom out, we'll see that it rejected this. It came back into the range after on the overnight thing, and then it's a little while ago. Anyway, it's just puttering around, so I don't see that necessarily doing much of anything. WBA, where's WBA? Oh, Walgreens, yeah, Walgreens. Okay. How's CVS? I know CVS got beat up a little bit lately. I remember my friend Jay Arlington, whose stream you can watch after this probably. Kind of beat up. Oh, here we go. Now we got something. CVS. Yeah. Here's another pairs trade. We could do a pairs trade. Forget why everyone was hating CVS. I might try a little 930. As soon as priced a little bit differently. Okay. And Walmart. I was looking at Walmart before, so let's see. I am short Target already, so I'm kind of pre-hedged here. Let's see. I don't know about that. Oh, you had CVS? Okay, yeah. Yeah, you can't be everywhere all at once. You can use tools to help you monitor, but this doesn't look like strength in Walmart to me. But I might need to zoom out more. maybe, I mean, it could come down. The channel line is decent bit lower if we look at this bigger one. It did break up though. Is this a new trend line? If so, it rejected that. In fact, yeah, that doesn't look bullish for me on the intraday, at least. For Walmart. I thought I was looking at WPA. It's crazy. Okay, that's rejected. So can I do slightly smaller position? I like to do this. I like to do something where I can trim later. Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, watch out. Sometimes if a stock you've been watching and it's on the smaller side has made a big move, right? And then you go and look at it, it's easy to get misled because normally it's making sort of this size of move. News comes out, you get all this range, all this volume, and then you're looking at it. If you size your positions based on your previous trading of that instrument, you might not enjoy that. All right, let's see what we've got here on Rumble. You know what I might do? I might change this to 50 so I have more to play with. Because then I'll have 6 50 share tranches. Or it's not really a tranche if I enter it at the same time, unless I enter, tranche it, and then I sell it in tranches, maybe. Okay. Walmart, yeah, can't break the pre-market highs. Yep, exactly. Rumble can though. I bet Rumble does well. We'll see. Now here we go. Here's that catch and bounce, right? Index put down that I have down a bit. Let's look at. Weak. Looks weak to me. Oops. Gold kind of doing interesting things, popped up and pushing there. Russell going, yeah, Nvidia breaking pre-market lows. As Nvidia goes, so goes the market, right? Ooh, that just, I'm not zoomed out quite enough. That looks like, look at this inverted. Here we go. Look at ARM. Look at that inverted cup and handle there. Look at that. That's not good. That is not bullish. Okay, here we go. Colgate, right? Consumer defensives, consumer staples going up. But that might not be able to break pre-market anything too. We'll see. I don't have the pre-market up, but yeah, see, and I wanted to go long Walgreens, short CVS. I hesitated on doing that, so oh well. Oh shoot, and sorry folks, if this cough really comes back, I might have to call the show early, because it's not a pretty sight, and it's I didn't rest up before and it just took it out of me. And keep in mind, when you're trading, if you're trading when you're sick, you know, your judgment can be bad. And if you then are forcing yourself to stay up and trade rather than resting up, that can be not a good thing. I wonder if there's any. I do wonder if there's a trade based on some of these bugs going around. It seems like it's this particular thing treatable with antibiotics, but we've got flu going around too, and so I wonder if we want to trade the we want to trade the impact of these on, I guess, productivity, right? GDP. I don't know. Can we? Be interesting to see. Rumble still. This to me, this looks like one of those where it looks like it's going to break the uptrend to the downside, and it does, and then it just pushes up. So this is one where you might see it. It's like, oh, it keeps pushing up, keeps pushing up. Oh, I want to short this pop, but then like it comes back up and reclaims, and you're like, oh man. See, and so then you see this. It looks like it breaks to the downside, and you would you'd short it, and then it pops right back up. So that's good times. All right, and now here we are. Rumble. The Rumble position is green again. The Rumble trade. I'm gonna just have to grind because this account's a ways down. It's got you get 900 that you can. Peloton. What's Peloton up to today? And what is Palantir up to? Let's see here. CVS. Oh, there we go. Oh, volume coming in on CVS too. Let's look at Palantir. I haven't looked at Palantir a little bit. Man, Lunar is up again today. Why is Lunar up? Is there news? Or is it just that space exploration is hot right now? Or is it the Russell? Is this just crazy melt up on? Yeah, small caps are good. I need to figure out how to disable that little AI summary of whatever. That's nice. I'm holding some Lunar warrants. So, yeah, Rumble up quite a bit. But rejecting potentially. So let's see if some of these more advanced indicators can give us an idea of what's going on Rumble this morning. Couple different things, right? So number one, we can look at this Renko chart, right? We can see it's almost back up here. It's coming up to these previous highs, and so we're starting to see more resistance there. Now, unfortunately, my stop is really tight here, so it might dip a little more and then actually push. But let's see also. I'm just going to change this to Heikin-Ashi candles again. Excuse me. Got to switch the screen again. And yeah, so we see here, right? We see this on the RSI. We see strong, comes down a little bit, comes back up. It's in that overbought range, except that the enthusiasm might still be there. Now we see here on this initial thing, the MFI down, and it's been just climbing back up. So now when these are going in different directions, this tells me it's going to be taking a breather potentially. And when the MFI goes up and then when it hits the top, right, it can be overbought as well. And then it can sell. You can see sells. So, but yeah, I look for that divergence between RSI and MFI. And that basically tells me like what's more of a real move, what has actual volume versus what's the price, what's just the price itself saying, the price action alone, like not factoring in volume, not factoring in anything else. Just very steady decreasing volume here. Keep confusing this with the other. I wanted a short target, but now I don't know. There goes NVIDIA. Wow, yep. Slip, slip, slip. Oh, I should be looking at index as well. Compare that to the futures, but let's see. Weird. I'll let that figure out its thing. Oh, look at that. Came just down almost to my stop. And just dumb luck. I figure I usually get. Yeah, move the short. Yeah, exactly. Good thought there. So in at 138.20. Okay, yeah. So you moved it. You moved your stop loss to be in profit. Is that what you're saying? That's good. Yeah, just today is a day, and this week in general. I saw a nice post that somebody put where they're talking about what are the most irrational days to trade. And that was a question we had brought up in our Discord too. We had one of the traders asking, hey, when do you want to be trading versus not trading? And a week like this is like one of the weeks that it's really hard to make money on a week like this, for a lot of people. So just there's no shame in sitting a day or a week out, because if you trade it and you trade it badly, then you're in the same exact position following week, except you have less money to work with, right? So or in a case with trade to pool, you have less wiggle room because of the drawdown, so it's very similar. But yeah, maybe Rumble does just I could see a bigger pullback and then a push, but I think small position size, that's the way to be. Those days where I've had a strong hunch, but I've had something to do, and I'm like, all right, well, I'll just use a small size, and I'll just glance over it while I'm working on other things. And those days tend to be the days that I have a nice little green, So sizing, small sizes and good conviction, a lot less stressful, And one of the other things that was a common comment in the market wizards that we're looking at was, hey, the best traders, the ones that make that money, know when to bring in the volume. They know when to bring in the larger trade size and to do that. So, you can come in with the bigger size. It's just, you have to manage it much more actively. Could this be ARM bottoming? I don't know. So we'll see. If I get it, what I'm going to do is, if this scalp takes, right, if it takes off the first 50, then I'm going to put in a couple trailing stops, and I'll just keep adding those as I get more and more room on this. That's one thing I like to do, to just keep the risk trimmed, but still be making, still be in the thing for the larger move. Enovix. So we've got that small cap energy. Yeah. Market not in very bullish state yet. Yeah, right. And I saw a tweet on this too. It said somebody said, hey, like everyone was thinking the Santa rally, and they forgot about the jobs numbers coming today, right? Like potentially digging a big hole when Thanksgiving. So dug a big hole during Thanksgiving. So hope everyone. Yeah, so you got that the last holiday week. So you're trying to do a little better this time. Yeah, that's all you can do. Is just learn the lessons, and then next time around you apply them a little better, and that makes so much of a difference. Let's see what happens if I grab. I'm beginning to see the difference that people are talking about on this the mini limited edition. I wasn't messing with the limited edition before, just because I liked using the larger size counts, but this is pretty neat. Not worrying as much about the 8%. I can scalp much sooner as well. So now I am a little bit this is from another window being displayed here, so the cursor doesn't quite always work right, but there we go. How long the limited edition will exist? Until the end of the year. And it just got expanded to the super. Now the super has the same thing with the 30 seconds rather than 60 that you need to hold it before trimming it anyway. But the mini limited edition is the one that doesn't have the 8% rule right now. So yeah, and by the way, there is a promotion right now, and you can see it on the banner up on the top there. If you get buy a super or an extra, or an ultimate, you get a mini limited edition for free. So that shows up a few days after the purchase. You also get 7 days longer to trade on each of those accounts. So that can be a really great deal. Yeah, Carvana convex and just like going up. I'm just seeing that on the side screen there, not looking at it. Man, Russell is just on a tear. We could see green come in. I don't know. Semis though, semis do not look so grand. But Enovix is in a good place. All right, so 10, 20, 37, 10, 20. Okay, yeah, it's already been a little bit. So I'm gonna just go here. Could have had this preset, but boop. All right, so now I just scalped a little bit off of this ENVX, and now I can let it just go. And what I'm going to do is start putting in these trailing stops already. So I'm going to put these. I'm going to have 5 segments of this buy. Yeah, the strength coming in. I may regret those puts again, but I was just going to see how the week turned out, really. So what I can do here is I can do trailing stop, 20 shares a piece. So I'll get 5 of these, and I'll do these in, let's see, 10, 20, 30, and 50. It's right there. That's good enough. And then I can drag this a little bit so it's out of the way, and let that go. So yeah, so I'm just going to put these at Fibonacci intervals. The next would be 80 and 130. And actually, no, just 80, because I have 5 of them, so that's fine. Here we go. All right, Rumble. Now Rumble going again. All the energy coming in, folks, and it is 10:24. So we're going to just come into the London Power Hour. They're going to close at 11:30. Actually, is the London market even open today? You might have UK traders. I bet you the LSE is closed. Can anybody in the UK, can they confirm whether the LSE trades on Boxing Day or not? I'll just pull it up here. Let's see. LSE holidays. And yeah, I'm wobbling again. It's super annoying. London Stock Exchange business days. But you could have trade. But again, I was gonna say you could have traders trading in their time zone. They're used to those times a day, right? So you might have similar action, except like a lot of the big firms, right? People are going to be on vacation. People are going to step out here, so it's non-trading day for the LSE today. Yeah, so that's something where we normally count down to the London close, and that's actually not relevant. I'm gonna actually put a note. We usually put a little reminder here on our thing. Let's not have a countdown to that. All right, go back to my trade and see what's cooking here. All right, yeah, Rumble. I put this partial take profit a little ways out on Rumble, so. This one here, you know what? I'm going to just put the last trailing stop out here and then not worry about it. So that's 10, 20, 30. What? I still have all 100. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cancel all these. And I'll just put it in again. So 20 at 10. Shoot. No, don't fill. There we go. So I'm going to say at 10 ticks, 20 ticks, 30, 50, and 80 ticks, ENVX. So now this is my entire position size, right? And I have that in trailing stops. Let me look again at Rumble. I should maybe scout this first. I don't know. I have a little bit of conviction. I think that's gonna push up more, unless it loses. Like, and again, I'll just look at this small chart, but you can see kind of the context better, right? If it holds here, it pushes up. If it suddenly loses this, then I might reconsider. But I think Rumble keeps going. To be honest, I'm going to be completely honest. I think that's what that is. Carvana, there we go. Look at that. Look at this. Little gap up here on the intraday, pops up. Now there's some gaps to the downside. That looks like a top on Carvana. Now that's the kind of perfect little situation that can really mislead you sometimes, but let's see what happens. Let's see what I'll be on the hook for if this doesn't work right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to just do a small little size there. Just, you know, nothing major. My add-on pullback, but 2, 3, 4. That's good. I like it when it's a nice number like that. All right. So these ENVX Woodside Energy. So that's a natural gas. That's speculative, right? But they've got that natural gas terminal. Look at this. Get some selling. I wonder how natural gas itself is doing. Disney could have that sell. Just be careful here. This could be a setup for another pop upwards, though. You'll often see that genuinely. So, like fake weakness, kind of, you know. Good for ARM. My in ARM. I'm not in ARM right now. Rumble rejecting again. It's just gonna like sit. I mean, not really rejecting, really. It's just kind of sitting and chopping. But that looks like a catch to me on Rumble. I think. Yeah. Yep. ARM breaks the high of the day. We have a nice instrument to have on the list. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too. You can just let today be a day. You know, when there's low liquidity, right? When the books are thin, that gives you a chance to kind of see the ranges. You know, you can look at the wicks of the day, right? Up and down. You can use that to establish a range often because you kind of see where people's drop dead stops are on days like this today. And all right, folks, I literally am back to having to struggle to keep up right here. I'm sort of wobbling off. So hate to say it, but I think I am going to cut this one a little bit short today. We'll just wrap up at 10:30. Oxy tanking. Okay. What's oil doing itself? Oil heading down. Let's see. You know, I saw a note saying that somebody was willing, Russia was. Oh, now I see a bunch of other things. Oil tanker detained in Finland over cable. Okay. Oh, that's the transatlantic cable that got cut. So thought I saw something. I thought it was Putin or Russia willing to talk. Obviously, we still have Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, Syria potentially. Those are kind of the two big things. We got the Houthis, I guess, no longer threatening U.S. shipping nearly as much because they got fought off. But interesting, yeah. And let's look at Oxy itself rather than the actual. Let's look at Oxy rather than oil itself. Oxy. Oh, well, yeah. Now that's something to keep in mind, right? So you can trade, if you're trading commodities through Trade the Pool, there's two things you can do. Sinking. So you can trade the commodity itself via these different ETPs, right? You've got oil ETFs. Sometimes you've got ETNs where they trade just the notes on it, right? Or where it's offered by a bank. I don't know if we have that for oil, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You can trade oil itself, right? Whether it's a fund that holds physical oil. I guess they probably wouldn't do that, but they might have contracts for physical. Anyway, you can trade that itself, or you can trade oil companies. Just like you can trade metals, you can trade gold, or you can trade the miners, right? So you have the opportunity, and those will often bake in things like the difficulty of getting it. Like it's the particular miners, whatever areas they have that they can work out of. That's one thing. And you'll often see, again, that's more forward looking. So you might see sort of exaggerated moves on miners, on oil companies based on, based on the expected amount they'll be able to get in and the demand for it. So that's something to keep in mind, And you could also go like long miners and short the metal. That could be one thing you can do. So all right. And I am actually about to I'm talking almost gibberish. So I think we're going to have to call it for today, guys. I'm going to tread very lightly if I trade any more today at all. But luckily, let me just point to this. Luckily now, Rumble is back up there doing its thing. So what I'm going to do is if that fills, then I'll just put in some trails on that one too and let that do its thing. So with that, folks, yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up. Go ahead and if you have any questions or comments, otherwise, throw them in the chat, and we will see you again on Monday, I'm sure. So we'll give it just a couple seconds. I'll also see if I can just get a fill on this. It gets so close and it won't just fill, and I want it to fill, and then I can put those partials there. So we'll see what happens if it just, come on, baby, come on, you can do it. You can do it. I might do this at small, 5, 10, 15, 25. I might do it at those intervals. This Rumble thing. Just waiting for this to do anything, really. Just chops around. It's maddening. That's what crypto is doing this weekend too, or this holiday, just in these ranges, right? Because people are just waiting to see what happens and everything. So let's see. That one, 5, 10, 15, 25, 40. Yeah. Trading on a funded account or an eval account. This is an eval. I actually haven't. I've passed evals before. I haven't passed Trade the Pools yet. It's sort of a weird combination of number one, we have that discussion in Discord talking about it, but my experience. All right, I'm gonna actually do this. So I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna skip the 5 space one, so it doesn't just fill on a Twitch. 10. So it would be 5, 10, 15. So I'm gonna go 10, 15, 25. Right. So 5, 10, 15, 25, 40, and 65 ticks for the last one. So this is the same thing. They're spaced at those Fibonacci intervals, but just with a multiplier of 5. And so again, I've got 250 shares left, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trailing stops of 50 shares each. So yeah, I have passed funded evals, not trade the pools. It's a combination of just had a lot of just life things going on, and then also I'm doing work on the community stuff during the trading day often. If any kind of issue arises, a lot of times I'm helping along with the rest of my team, helping put folks in touch with our ops team, our CS team. So there's that. And there's also just the fact that my previous equities experience was all in derivatives, largely. Like my active trading experience has been primarily via options. And I've also done a lot of stuff with futures. So you will see, like, there are some slight differences in kind of the feel of it, my humble opinion. And so that's one of the things that I'm working, and I'm sharing that kind of process with our traders as well in the Discord. So, you know, keep an eye out for that. But it is also like a little bit different with the way momentum works and things like that. That being said, too, I'm also, like, you saw it a couple times today, right? This thing where I'm in a mini and I'm checking the sizing, but I need to do a little bit more of like, number one, double checking the sizing for the account size I'm trading, and number two, the particular instrument. Like I said, if there's something that you've traded a bunch and it normally trades in this price range, and all of a sudden you get like an expansion of that, you have a much bigger move. You could easily trade a size that you normally trade on the stock, and then it turns out that you actually need to allow for a much wider move on the day, because now there's so much more. There's this range expansion. So that can bite. That's bitten me anyway. I'll say that. All right. So now this is down to 150 shares, and you can see 1, 2, 3 left. Yeah, it's coming back down. So I'm going to have very little of a thing left when Rumble gets done with me, but it's okay. Made up some of these losses, so that's really, really nice. I'll just let that do its work. So I've got 100 left in 2 chunks. I could break that into 20s. In fact, I think I will do that. So that was 40, and this was 65. So if I then do, I'm going to do this at 20. I'm going to say 20, 30, 50, 80, and 130. So that'd be $1.30 move that I'd have to make down for that last one to hit. MU's moving. See what's going on there. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that could be a bottom thing. And let's look at the markets as well. Let's look at semis overall. Yeah, everything pushing now. Notably, indices are not following as much. So something there. Anyway. All right, folks. Well, that's going to be it. We're going to call it. We're going to let these trades continue to run. Now in a net positive for the day so far on the realized and unrealized. So we'll just see how all these play out. And with that, thank you all so much for watching. And again, we'll see you all on Monday. Hold on, let me double check Yes, markets are open on Monday. So we'll see you all Monday. Cheers, everyone.